Hey everybody, it's me, Mr. Santee, Rob McNelis, and I am coming to you right now from the Pacific Southwest Association of Realtors building in El Cajon right now, but where we just finished a class for about 120 real estate agents. Now I have the absolute pleasure of hanging out with one of my actually very good friends, longtime friends, part-time counterpart at City Council, and now our state assembly, was our state assemblyman, now our state senator, Brian Jones, the Brian Jones.
And don't forget, you were my original sponsor and co-host for a congressional race a long time ago.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that was a fun event, man. That was a great event.
Yeah.
So now you're running. This is your final term, right?
Correct. In the state legislature, this is it.
This is it. So we want to make sure you go out with a bang, and we make sure we get you reelected for this final term as our state senator, and that is for what district?
It's interesting. I'm glad you asked that because I'm currently in the 38th district, but the new district is numbered 40.
Yeah, with redistricting and everything like that puts you in a number 40 now. So you do have a bit of a kind of a different demographic than you did previously.
Right.
You now encompass what areas do you now encompass that you didn't previously?
So that I lost El Cajon, La Mesa, Lemon Grove, and Spring Valley, and I picked up UTC, University City, Miramar, Mira Mesa, Scripps Ranch, Rancho Bernardo, Forest Ranch, basically everything north of the 52 along the 15, and then all the way out to Pine Valley.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a big district, buddy.
The largest in San Diego County.
Wow. And all right, so how's the race going? I know we've just got a few days left. This is the last push. You're doing everything you can. You're on the phones. You're doing podcasts like this. You're doing radio shows, TV. What's going on? Talk to me.
Well, I need to get your viewers and your listeners to make sure that they vote. And if they can collect extra ballots from their friends and family and, have them sign it, and then they can go turn it in. That's legal nowadays. And, I'm going to turn in a couple extra ballots for my family. And we need all the votes we can get. It's going to be a close race. The Democrats just dropped $700,000 yesterday for my opponent. We have raised and spent about 1.1 million this year. And so we're still fundraising. If your viewers and listeners can go to my website, electbrianjones.com, they can make a contribution. It would be very helpful. We've gotten several $50 contributions today and a couple of max out contributions. The max out's $4,900, but every amount adds up and helps, even if it's $20, $50, $250, whatever.
Absolutely, because it's just the power of. I mean, look at the size of your district. If everybody gave you $10, but you'd be doing all right. So
yeah, because there's 1 million people in my district. That
would be real. You'd be doing really all right.
Yeah.
And I know you also help other candidates.
Right.
You've done that many times. You help out with other races when you see that there's a need there. You've always been one of the first ones that's ready to help out with kicking in a little bit there or helping with resources. So it's much appreciated that you're helping all of us that are elected stay elected sometimes.
Right.
And we appreciate you for that.
We've got some really important school board races that I've endorsed and trying to be helpful as I can. Poway City Council race, we'll be walking precincts tomorrow for that. And then, of course, Matt Gunderson on the coast, who's running for state senate also. We need to get him across the finish line as well.
Yeah, they're doing some TV commercials against him, aren't they?
Oh, they are. And he's doing TV commercials as well. I think his commercials are pretty good. And, we're hoping to get him across the finish line.
And then what about for you? What are you getting it on TV? You were talking about KUSI. Did you make it on KUSI?
Yep. I was on KUSI this morning. I'll be on again Sunday. They're very good. And I think they're one of our better news stations here in San Diego. We've got mail going out this week. We're putting together a text campaign to start texting people. And really right now what we're concentrating on is getting Republicans and no party preference, and Democrats that are fed up with the one party rule, which there's quite a few, to get their ballots in, get some friends and families ballots turned in, and win this thing on Tuesday.
So when you win on Tuesday, all right, what's the number one focus for the last term? What's your number one focus, brother?
Well, one of the things, I'm concentrating on this year is really what I'm calling the main kitchen table conversations that people are having in their homes, and that's the cost of living in California, homelessness, which is out of control, crime, which is out of control, and education. When I got elected in 2010, we didn't talk about education too much because it was, in California, it was in pretty decent shape. When I moved to California in 1978, I was 10. California was number one in education. And just between then and now, and especially since 2010, education's taken a real decline here in California. The state finally released its test scores last week, and our kids they're 2 grades behind. And they want to act surprised. I think most of us are not surprised. We know that keeping the kids home and trying to educate everybody online just didn't work statewide.
No, agreed with that. But you know what? The more I talk to people, they're so horrified with what is being taught in the schools right now that they are keeping their kids home. They're doing more homeschooling. They're doing
Right.
More study it at your own pace stuff because they're just they don't want their kids necessarily indoctrinated into something that they don't believe in as a family.
It's amazing the decline in the quality of education just in the last 10 years in California. So I support those families that make that decision, charter schools, private schools, and all of those things help our traditional public schools as well, because they're competitive. And if a traditional public school sees too many of their kids leaving to go to other educational avenues, they're going to change their tune. Now, it might take a couple more years for that to be system wide, but the more parents that do that, I think that will make a statement on our public education.
And then, okay, now let's talk about the other big topic. That's the price of gas.
Right. As you know, I've been pushing the governor for the last 16 months to just suspend the gas tax. You probably know, the first dollar of every gallon goes to the state of California, and then the next 20 cents goes to the federal government. So when the Democrats and the governor are talking about outrageous profits, the state gets their buck first before anybody else does. And we need to suspend that so and lower the price of gasoline. It would cost about $9 billion a year to do that. The state has $100 billion surplus. Yeah, so we have the money. We can do it. Instead, the governor wants to do a rinky-dink rebate program.
$200 rebates to every family under 100,000.
Nobody's received them yet.
Well, a number of people have.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard anybody tell me they've gotten them. So.
Oh, I know a few people that have. Unfortunately, I don't qualify for any of those, so I don't even get $200.
Right. That's the other thing is it's on a means test. So what about the small business owner? Maybe a plumber or an electrician or landscaper that owns 5 or 6 or 7 trucks.
Yeah.
And, is buying gas every single day to get his work done. He's not going to get the rebate that.
Oh, no. We lost you. Oh, you're back. Got to unmute. There you go.
Sorry about that. I got a call coming in while I was on the.
Oh, technology.
Yeah.
I guess he really didn't want to talk so much about gas.
I was wondering why my phone kicked you off and I didn't even answer the call. So it's like that's weird. But we need to keep working on that. And this isn't even a partisan issue, Rob. The president of the United States, President Biden, even suggested that states cut their sales tax on gasoline, and several Democrat-controlled states did, with Democrat governors, Democrat legislatures, and they saw a way to lower their gas prices. We could do the same thing.
Could, but so far haven't.
Right.
And there's don't see an appetite for it as of now, right?
Right. Correct. Exactly. And there's a second point to that too. Right now on the governor's desk, there's 1,000 permits to drill more oil wells in the Central Valley here in California, where we could produce more oil here in California. And he's tied up those oil permits for the last 4 years.
Well, the big push, you already know, the big push is that they want in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think they want gas as expensive as possible because they're trying to drive everyone out of gas-powered vehicles into electric-powered vehicles,
right?
For the sake of the environment. But the other side of that is, I don't know, batteries in cars are already starting to deplete.
Right, exactly.
Solar panels are on houses are already starting to deplete.
And they don't take into account the environmental damage that's done to get the materials for those items.
And that's what I'm talking about. So wait a minute, how do you recycle a battery? There are toxic chemicals in batteries that.
Right.
What do you do with that? The panels, solar panels.
Yeah, no, that's a problem because the landfills won't take them, and the original solar panels are starting, to your point, are starting to wear out right now, needing to be replaced. And what do we do with all that stuff?
But it's for the environment that we're going this direction,
right?
While causing another problem for the environment. It's just kicking the can down the road on an environmental issue. It's not solving a problem. So
I agree.
And on top of that, it's okay. We've got to go green. We've got to go electric. We've got to do this. While at the same time, please, 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 please don't overload the grid.
Right. Yeah.
Don't overload the grid on us.
Just get up at midnight to go plug in your car because you can't plug it in during the day.
Yeah.
You don't need 15 minutes of sleep to go plug in your car.
Yeah. I mean, we laugh about this stuff, but this is real stuff.
This is real life in California. It's amazing to me. And so that's why when I said originally, there's a lot of Democrats that are fed up with the way things are going in California. This isn't the Democrat Party that they joined 20, 30, 40 years ago. And we're starting to get a lot of crossover votes from my campaign. And we're excited about that. We want to run as straightforward and clean a campaign as possible. And then when I'm in office, this, and I don't run my office in a partisan manner. If we don't ask people what their registration is when they call our office for help, my staff's going to do everything it takes to get them the help they need with the state agencies that are troubling them.
And that's the way it should be. I mean,
right.
Yes, it is a partisan race. So you actually are in a partisan race. However, once the job is there, you're not there to just serve conservatives in your district. You're there to serve your constituents. That includes everybody.
Yep.
So, the other thing as being elected, I hear it all the time is, but I pay your salary, so you do what I say.
Right.
And people don't understand. Well, you're right. I get that. But so is your next door neighbor.
Yep.
Next door neighbor wants me to do the exact opposite. So which one of you do I listen to?
Yeah, exactly. And in my case, I have 1 million constituents. So
there's a lot of next door neighbors.
Right, exactly. And and I get that attitude as well. I mean, and you just have to, I think, kind of what you said, manage and balance the different interests that are pulling on you from the community.
Yeah, and if something makes sense, it makes sense. If it works for us, it works for us. I could care less what party brand came up with an idea. If an idea is good, it's good. If it's going to help our community and constituents, then that's what we should be doing. And
to that point, I had 8 bills signed by the governor last year. So my Democrat colleagues agreed with me 8 times, and so did the governor.
See, even Brian Jones is right 8 times.
Right, exactly. Actually, I got 9 bills to the governor's desk. He vetoed one.
When was that?
But he signed the other. He vetoed the OHV bill again, the off-highway vehicle motorcycle bill. So we're gonna have to work on that again this year, and hopefully get it done.
Good deal. So, any other big plans that you've got? Any other things that you're shooting for? To like I said, I know you're gonna go out with a bang. You're going out guns blazing.
One of the cool things that Vopel and I were able to do this year is get some funding for the city of Santee for the community center. And, I want to, on my last term, be able to do a lot more of that stuff for my community and get things that are helpful to the residents that government should be doing in the first place. And so we'll continue focusing on that. I'm sure we'll focus on some business.
Uh-oh. We lost him again.
You still there?
Yep, you're a busy guy, man. You're a busy guy.
Sorry. Well, I've got people calling me back for.
Oh, that's right. You're making phone calls. Yeah, you're still doing your fundraising and making phone calls, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm
So, well, I'm sure we'll do some business licensing stuff like I always do on the Business and Professions Committee, making it easier to get your business license, regardless of what industry it is. Working on reforming the continuing education on some of these platforms, and those are bipartisan issues that I work very well with my Democrat colleagues.
Fantastic. All right. So one more time, let's get your website up. Producer Joe, if you can get this website up for us. If you want to find out more about Brian Jones, you can go to electbrianjones.com. There's his bios there, his background's there. And of course, there is a donation page. Please be sure to click on that and help him out if you feel that the desire hits you and you want to make sure that you keep people like Brian in office. This is what's needed. As you just heard him say, $750,000 just dropped into his opponent's lap today. Was that today you said?
Yeah, well, last night. So
last night. Okay, within the last 24 hours, it's gonna buy a lot of vision. It's gonna buy a lot of sound bites. It's gonna buy a lot of mailers for the last minute. Brian needs your help as well. Let's keep Brian there. Anything you can do, everything helps. I hope you jump in, you contribute whatever you can, and get your friends to do the same. As the senator did state, it is okay to take your neighbor if you're concerned or your neighbor doesn't have the time, energy, or resources to get from their home to a mailbox or a voting place, a balloting location. You have the right now to grab their ballot and take it to one for them. So we want to make sure votes get counted.
That's right. And I appreciate that. And thank you, Rob. And thanks, Joe. Appreciate the time on your show today.
You got it, buddy. You take care and good luck to you. And God bless, brother. We need to keep you up there for 4 more years.
Thank you, sir.
All right. That is it for us. We will see you next week. We are going to be with Top 40 Guitars next week. Got to check that place out. It is very, very cool. Looking very forward to seeing Scott Hayes over there. And I think we're going to get him to riff a little bit. We got to get him to riff a little bit and show us what it's really about. I think that, yep. Okay. We are, Joe, we are done. We will see you next week, and take care, everybody. God bless. Goodbye.